This is the Pirate Hunter, and this is a build update number 1 on the M65 Atomic Cannon, and an explanation why I'm going to go away from YouTube for a while. It's not because of the trolls or the rivet counters, it's because of something worse and a lower life form than that. It's because my OS on my computer is XP. Now, that is not going to be supported after the 8th of April by Windows. So all the hackers in that out there are panting and sweating and drooling over the ability to get into XP right now. And having lost a whole bunch of photographs and videos from hackers once before, I'm going to just take my computer off this line for a while till I get a new one. My computer is old enough that I cannot do an upgrade to Windows 7 or Windows 8. It will not drive it, it will not support it. So I'll still be able to access YouTube and Google Plus off of my tab and my phone. But the problem is I could upload videos off of my tablet, but during all this fiasco of YouTube and Google Plus, I found out I thought I had 2 accounts. I don't. I have 3. And thanks to Google Plus's 1Password for everything, if I get in there and try to delete them, it tells me I have to delete my whole system, all of the Pirate Hunters videos off of YouTube, and start over with a new name and everything else. And I'm not interested in doing that right now. It won't let me upgrade to post a video longer than 15 minutes because it's under one of the others that I can't get into and can't control. If I try anything on it, it tells me I'm already subscribed to myself. You gotta love it. So I'll be gone for a while. I'll still watch the videos and that off of my phone and my tab, but I just won't be able to post anything for a while. So this is a real quick video, he says, haha, and a build update on the M65 Atomic Cannon. Now this is the frame assembly, what is here. It measures 14.5 inches long, sitting there. It is really big. It's kind of fun. It's something that if you really want to detail things, you can really detail because it's simply so big. Now, the color scheme on it, this is a darker olive drab that I used, and I'm going straight off the paint callouts on the instruction manual. I've been on the internet and I found pictures of these sitting somewhere that are balls of rust that are painted gray, or they're painted a couple different shades of olive drab, things like that. So it's kind of been fun, paint it whatever I want to paint it. It's fun in the point you can do a lot of things with this. If you're one of these that you want things that you can take it to a show and pose it and put things up and down on it. This right here, this frame assembly, rotates. Quite interesting. It really does. It's got a set of the 3 little wheels on it that obviously don't rotate. Move around on the plate on the bottom, and this wheel that rotates here, right here, it elevates the cannon. But I haven't put that on there yet. It is some things on this that you kind of have to be careful of. If you notice, these platforms right here fit back underneath the frames. So if you're going to try to spray paint down in there, you're going to have a real thin line on your airbrush to get in there on either side of this. This is a 2-part, and so what I did is I painted it, and then I took and highlighted everything down inside of it. Dry brushed it and highlighted it, called it good. But these are called out as aluminum. What kind of aluminum? A bright aluminum? A flat aluminum? I took and some of it I painted white and put the aluminum over it, and it didn't make that much difference on it. There's really not a lot of call-outs on this on color. All I've have been aluminum so far. So I've been going through, and some of it I've started to detail on a little bit, taking a lot of poetic license, because like I said, I haven't seen a lot of these that have a real total color call-out on it, and a lot of the pictures on the net are black and white, obviously, from the time frame. So it's really kind of fun. This would be a good kit for even a beginner in some ways. There is a few things you have to watch out for on this, and when I do the final review on this, I will, point them out. But so this part is done on this. This is actually part of the cannon assembly here on it, that this breech assembly goes on to it. And when I listen to guys talk about when they get these armor vehicles, they have about about 4 inches long on it, some of them 4 or 5 inches long, and they're talking about filling seams. I'm kind of not going to have as much sympathy for them as I have in the past, because a lot of them are just a 2-piece barrel. I think there's a couple of the, I don't know if it's a Tiger or Panther, that's a 6-piece that's about that long, or one of them. When you go to put the barrel together on this thing, it is a 6-piece barrel. And it's 15¼ inches long. So when you're filling seams and trying to line it up, I gotta admit, everything so far really has lined up quite well on this. I did have to do a little sanding and filling on the seams, but other than that, it wasn't bad. I did make a mistake on this barrel, and I've got to get a hold of Revell and see if they will send me another 6 parts of the barrel. And when I do the final review on this, I'll explain where I made all my mistakes on it. But I assumed something, and all assumed does is make an ass of you and me. And boy, it made an ass of me on this one, because it's not like barrels on some of the other artillery pieces and that. So, like I said, all things considered, it's a pretty fun model to build. So far, I'd recommend it to anybody. And I haven't got to the tractor units yet, and I will get the videos done, but I'm not, when I do it, when I get it done, but there's no sense downloading it to my computer, because I have to have everything taken off my computer and download it onto whatever I buy. So we'll have to go through on that. I said we'll just do a final build review on it. But on this, a lot of the platforms, there's all sorts of side platforms on this that you can pose open and closed. You can put them up, or you can put, not open or closed, up or down. And it's kind of fun. Like I said, this is something that if you had a younger kid that really hadn't got into modeling yet, I'd say above beginner level, you'd have to help him on this. There's some, it'd be pretty fun to sit there and build this with a kid. It really would. Because it's not like building some of the Tigers where you've got photo etch that you need a setup like this that I have of the jeweler's eyepieces to use, so I can see the small pieces of photo etch that needs to go on there. All the parts on this are pretty good sized. They really are. So it would be, not bad for a kid on it. There's few cavettes on it, like I said, but we'll go through on it before. And as you can see, the way it calls out the wheels here on it. It's just straight silver. Well, all that does look like a blob of silver. So a little poetic license there. I took and did them black and silver on it, so it gives a little more breakup on them. Some of the boxes I've started to paint. Some of the switches on the handle switches on it. There's one dial here that I'll take and dry brush with silver, then fill with clear glue on it, so it shows as a gauge. I said all the conduits here are all raised. You could weather this thing to death, and there is one video on the internet that shows one of these that it is nothing but a pile of rust. Everything is just, they got it somewhere and set it somewhere, and that's all it is. They just let it set and rust. The tires are flat, the glass is broke out, the headlights are gone, things like that. If you wanted to build a diorama like that, there's a lot of pictures on the net of that one. So, all things considered, yeah, it's a pretty good kit. So, till I get back, which I don't know how long that will be, I will still, as I said, comment on YouTube on my tab on my phone, where I can watch it. But rather than go through the hassle of posting videos to some other channel of mine that I don't really want, I'll just have to wait and download them to the real YouTube channel when I get my computer back up and running. So, as always, go to International Scale Modeler, which is a very good website to go to. There's also some very good people doing tutorials on YouTube that are out there. Very worthwhile watching. And as Jerry Springer says, take care of yourself and each other till we can get the computer going again. This is the Pirate Hunter.